Hey everybody, Dave here from TMG. Today we are going to do an oil change on the Subaru. So again, 97 Subaru Vivio Bistro. So this has like a 665cc Clover 4 supercharged engine. I don't know how different this is going to be to any other oil change. I would assume very simple. Drain the oil, change the filter, top it off, and we'll go from there. Because this vehicle is in kilometers, I'm going to write my oil change sticker for kilometers. So I do my oil changes at 4,000 miles, right around there. And in kilometers, that's like 6,400 miles roughly, or 6,400 kilometers. So I'm going to write my oil change sticker for 6,400 kilometers ahead of what it is now. Other than that, I'm going to grab my tools, I'm going to get out to the car, and we're going to jump into this. All right, so we are under the vehicle. Right here, you can't really see it because of the exhaust, but I'll try and... Right there's the oil filter, right up front. Nice and easy. And then the drain plug is right here, facing the quote-unquote the right side of the tire. So when I do an oil change on a vehicle I own for the first time, I always buy a brand new drain plug and gasket. I should always buy a new gasket, but I always buy a drain plug because you never know what you're going to run into on the first oil change, whether it's the wrong plug, whether it's leaking, stripped out, whatever the case may be. So that's what I did. This is a drain plug for a 2002 Subaru Impreza WRX. I found that a lot of the filter and the drain plug and everything else cross to that. So this is going to take a 17 millimeter socket on the new plug. And then the oil filter as well is for an 02 WRX. So the drain plug that's on here, I'm assuming it's original. I don't know that for sure. That's what I'm assuming. But it is a 14 millimeter. So we're going to take that off and we're going to replace it with the new one that I purchased, as long as it is correct thread wise. So just crack that loose, slide our pan over, and normally I would just drop this in here if I'm replacing it, but because I don't know if it's correct or not, I want to look at it first. You know, maybe the threads are different, maybe the size is different. I have no idea. So we'll wipe it down and look at it. And it looks like it's smaller. So what I said about this being an 02 WRX drain plug, that is not correct. So we will return that. The washer that's on here looks okay. So we will use this plug again. Next time I will get a new drain plug washer for it. This one does have a crush, or not a crush, but a copper washer on it. If you can see it there, it's not a crush style per se, but it wasn't leaking. We'll be fine to reuse it. Okay, so we'll now take off the filter. It's rare that I need a strap wrench, but the person who put it on before me either put it really tight and didn't lubricate the seal, something like that. All right, so as you can see, that oil is pretty much dripping to nothing out of the oil pan there. Looks like they had used an AC Delco filter. Okay. All right, there's nothing wrong with that. I'll live. I don't get too caught up in the oil filter hype, really. Oh, there we go. Sorry about that. check that mating surface. It looks fine. We'll grab my new filter. And this filter is for the same O2 WRX, and it goes on nice and proper. Alrighty. Wipe off the sway bar that oil leaked down onto. And now we'll grab our drain plug and we'll put that back in. This is the original drain plug. Like I said, the one for the WRX was much larger and not correct for this application. Just slide this out of the way. And we will tighten the plug. There we go. Snug as a bug in a rug. I brought some brake cleaner to kind of spray this off, but it doesn't look necessary. Alright. Looking at everything really quick here. Look at the bottom of the supercharger and the belt on it. Belt looks good. I think to change the supercharger oil, I might have to pull the grill. We'll see. That'll be a project due down the road. Alright, let's go ahead and get topside on this. Alright, so our oil goes right here. So we are going to pull that oil O-ring, the cap O-ring, stuck to this. Put it back on the oil cap. Now again, I think it takes like 2.6 liters, somewhere right around there. So I'm going to start this with around 2.25, 2.5 quarts, and we'll go from there. I'd rather underfill it on the original startup by a little bit than overfill it and have to drain some out. So the first oil change, just use a little precaution and we'll be just fine. Now I am using 5W30 synthetic brand. I don't care what brand you use. I'm not really a brand whore per se. There are things I do like and things I don't like. I'm not a fan of Pennzoil. I'm not a fan of Quaker State. And I'm not a fan of like the super expensive stuff like Royal Purple. Not calling any of those out. My preference. I've been in the industry a long time, and I'm one of those people where the past kind of sticks with me. Pennzoil and Quaker State both have had problems a long time ago, and I would just rather not invest in their product. So I think I'll be low, actually. That's what I was trying to put in, was about 2 quarts of oil roughly. So we'll give this a second to drain down, and then we'll top it off where need be. So again, yes, this is like a 658cc. It's called a Clover 4, and it is supercharged. What you're looking at here is the intercooler for the supercharger. Supercharger sits down here. It's a root style, so it's belt driven. And yeah, looking at changing the fluid on it, the grill itself looks like it will have to come off, which not a big deal. I don't think that'll be a big problem. We'll just get that knocked out down the road. All right, go ahead and check our oil level. It looks like I'm about 1/4 of a quart low. So we'll just top that off really quick. So yeah, it looks like right about 2.5 quarts is what this thing takes. So just before anybody asks, I'll tell you, as far as what I used for oil today, I used O'Reilly's Syntec 5W30. I don't know who the actual manufacturer of that oil is. If I look at the back, it says that it is distributed by Ozark Automotive Distributors. It's Dexos compliant, which that doesn't matter to me, the Dexos stuff. Now I asked the guy there, and he said it's Valvoline in the bottle, but I don't know if that's correct. And whatever. This thing's not going to get a lot of miles. We are full. I don't know if you can see that, but right there, right on the button. Nice and clean. But anyways, so I will do a little more research. I haven't been able to find anything that states who actually makes the oil. I know everybody's got their opinion, but I haven't seen any legitimate answer to who manufactures the oil. Like I know, for instance, Napa is manufactured by Valvoline. So I had no problem using Napa oil. I like Valvoline oil. I like Mobil 1. I like Castrol. So all that stuff's fine. But I don't want to spend like 80 bucks on oil either. So I think this and the filter cost me $34. And it looks like besides another filter, I'll get 2 oil changes out of that jug. So again, this vehicle isn't horsepower driven. It's 65 horsepower. So I don't think I'm too concerned. Remember guys, the biggest thing regardless at the end of the day is the #1 oil related engine failure is the lack of engine oil. That's the biggest thing to keep in mind here, okay? So everybody, like I said, everybody's got their opinion, what oil's the best and etc. At the end of the day, if you got oil in your car, you're probably going to be okay. Even the weight is less concerning than people think it is. The spec, same thing, less concerning than you think it really needs to be. The biggest thing is maintaining oil. And nowadays, with vehicles that use oil the way they do and burn oil, like the GDI engines and the Ecotechs and pretty much everything nowadays on the market, maintaining your vehicle full of oil, that's the biggest concern. So we're full here, caps on. So that's it for this oil change. All right guys, so there it is. Oil change done on the Vivio. I don't know how informational this will be to most of you, since I know there's not a lot of these vehicles out there, but I believe this will be very similar if you have like a Sambar as well. Anything that's got that Clover 4 engine, I'm sure they're all pretty much similar. So I end up using like 2.5 quarts of oil, 5W30 synthetic, new oil filter, just let everything drain out, and that's pretty much it. Like any basic oil change on an older, I say older, 1997, but comparatively 28-year-old vehicle, pretty basic oil change. So if you guys have any questions, feel free to leave those down below. Message me. All my information is down below if you have any questions. Other than that, I will see you guys on the next video. Take care.